A mole actually has three definitions. It is equal to molar mass, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, also known as Avogadro's number, and it can also be equal to 22.4 liters of any gas at 0 degrees Celsius. So a limiting reactant is a substance that is completely used by the end of a chemical reaction and restricts the amount the other substances in a reaction are used. So this is basically whatever's not used in a reaction. And if you need more time to see the steps, you can pause this. Mole ratio is a conversion factor that relates the amounts in moles of any two substances involved in a chemical reaction. It's used when converting one substance from moles to grams in a reaction to moles or grams of another substance. Molar mass is a conversion factor that relates the mass of a substance to the amount in moles of that substance. Here are three different methods that you can use when using the two conversions that were said in the last slide. If you need more time to look at this a bit closer, you can go ahead and pause this and look at the methods. Reaction stoichiometry involves mass relationships between the reactants and the products in a chemical reaction. To calculate this, you must first have a balanced chemical equation that gives you the number of moles in reactants and products. In these problems, they are used by solving ratios from the balanced equation and then converted by using certain methods. Molecular formula is the formula or format that a compound takes when the number of atoms each element has is taken into consideration and the number of atoms are used as subscripts. So here we have a couple examples of molecular formulas and also empirical formulas, which we will discuss in the next slide. So an empirical formula is the ratio of the amount of each element in a compound rather than how many atoms are actually in the compound. So here are three steps to figuring out how to write an empirical formula. First, you change from mass to mole, divide by spole, and multiply to whole. If you need to read this, you can go ahead and pause the video. Percent composition of a component in a compound is the percent of the total mass of the compound that is due to that component. So here are four steps showing how to solve for this, and then we also give you a couple of examples that you can get a closer look at if you pause the video. So here we have some other information that we felt would be helpful: how to convert mass, find experimental ratio, stoichiometric ratio, theoretical yield, steps on how to balance chemical equations, find limiting reactants, find theoretical yields, finding actual yields, and also finding percentage yields. So here we have the three definitions of theoretic yield, actual yield, and percent yield. We have the different steps on how to calculate them. We even have a picture here of the formula that you use to find percent yield. So here we have some examples of finding the molar mass of certain elements. You can go ahead, pause the video, write these examples down to help you memorize how to solve for this, or you can just pause the video and look. So molar mass is the number of atoms of an element, which is given by the atomic weight of the element and then multiplied by the molar mass content. So here we have given you 5 simple steps on how to find molar mass. Molar mass is the atomic weight of an element expressed in grams is the mass of 1 mole of that element.